Hello and welcome back to Simon's Rants. I'm Simon, and today I'm going over the theory that Mary Poppins is in fact an eldritch monster, the same kind of monster that Pennywise the Clown from It is. Now, your first reaction to that is probably, no, why would you ever suggest something like that? That's crazy. Well, listen to this. We all know that Pennywise the Clown isn't actually a clown. He was a shape-shifting monster that would feed on the fear of children. He'd surface every 27 years to feast, and then go back into seclusion for the remaining time. While on the surface terrorizing these kids, he would take on various forms and create elaborate illusions and tricks that would play with people's minds. He could create entire worlds that people were sucked into, including having a second form that could move inside of a mirror, creating fantasies and worlds that weren't actually real. He could defy the laws of physics and reality, all while parents were completely ignorant to anything that was happening. And he would do all of this while defying gravity, floating, hanging from the string of a balloon. Now let's look at Mary Poppins. She resurfaces, according to the sequel, Mary Poppins Returns, every 25 years. And she also comes back to interact with kids. We also see that the people involved in Mary Poppins don't remember the amazing things that happened the first time they were with her until she's back. They've wiped the entire memory out of their heads until they start seeing magical things happen again. Much like the fear with Pennywise. It was blocked from their memories until he resurfaced, and then it all started coming back. Now, Mary Poppins doesn't shapeshift into anything terrifying, and she's not feeding upon children's fear. No, she's feeding on their joy, their happiness. She creates these elaborate illusions and fantasies and entire worlds for them to dive into. She defies the laws of physics and gravity by flying around holding on to an umbrella. And, in some cases, balloons. Balloons, guys! There's connections. Come on, let's look at this. And in both cases, we have this magical, powerful being return a toy made out of paper to a child named Georgie. Now, how weird is that?
You need to be more careful when the wind rises, Georgie. You nearly lost your kite.
Hiya, Georgie. What a nice boat.
Now, I get the biggest hurdle to get over here is that she's not killing the kids, she's not feasting on their fear, she's making their lives better. Why would she do that? Well, in the case of Pennywise, we see he's feasting on their fear. He's not terrorizing them for no reason, he's feeding, he's eating. That's what gives him strength, that's what gives him power. And on the other hand, we have Mary Poppins, who's choosing to bring love, joy, and happiness to kids that she has no connection to. Why would she do that unless there was some sort of benefit for her? Maybe she's feasting upon their joy and happiness. Maybe that is what's sustaining her. And you might say, well, that's a big leap. How do you get from there? Well, as we saw from the famous Pixar film Monsters, Inc., children's laughter is 10 times more powerful than their screams. Children's joy is much more powerful than their fear, which would explain why there was a 54-year gap between Mary Poppins and Mary Poppins Returns release dates, whereas there was only a 27-year gap between the It films. Because maybe, just maybe, the joy and the happiness she brought them sustained her for twice as long as the fear sustained Pennywise. Mary Poppins obviously has some sort of magical powers that we don't understand. She's got this bag that's ever expanding. She creates entire worlds at the snap of her fingers. She can make anything that she wants to happen at a moment's notice. And although she's trying to bring them joy, she's also very stern and businesslike. And once she gets what she wants out of the situation, she's gone. And she doesn't come back until she wants to. There's no real relationship there. It's obviously a business transaction of some sort. Now, why would this happen? Why would a monster go from being completely evil to completely good? Just because it benefited them? Maybe, or maybe not all monsters in the Stephen King universe are evil. We actually see that in his books. If you look at the book Insomnia, you've got these 3 doctors, these 3 monsters. One of them is evil and kills people for fun. The other 2 are good and kill people when it's their time to go. So we see that that is canon in the Stephen King universe, that not all monsters are evil. Some are good. These supernatural beings just have purpose in life. Some go beyond and do things out of spite. Some are just doing it because it's what they're meant to do. So it seems pretty clear to me that Mary Poppins and Pennywise are a lot more similar than we may have originally thought. Are they the same thing? Are they just similar things? We may never know, but to me, I think it makes a lot of sense. a little too much sense, honestly.
Will you be good enough to explain all this?
I never explain anything.
But that is just a theory. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and of course, don't forget to like, share, and if you're new here, subscribe. Thanks, guys. Bye.